And now, a special announcement from Lord Cornwallis Beaumont.
My fellow watch enthusiasts, I am Cornwallis Beaumont. I am President and CEO of Meta World Luxury, the parent company of Amin Straps. I have an important announcement for all of our international clients, employees, and associates today. I will be reading from a prepared statement. It is with a heavy heart that I inform you immediately that Meta World Luxury has made the corporate decision to distance itself entirely from the Grand Prix d'Horlogerie de Genève, or the GPHG. The GPHG has been considered for a while now the closest approximation of informed, objective adjudication of quality in the watch world. However, Meta World Luxury has acknowledged them in this capacity only in as much as them literally being the only show in town, with no competing horological organizations otherwise. In past shows, we have intimated at biased, pliable, sycophantic judging, favoring certain brands over others. Despite this, we have grudgingly participated in this charade of GPHG being a legitimate judging show when we do our annual picks. Humbly stating that we on the Meta World Luxury platform are just 5 idiots who don't know anything about watches, when in fact we know more than the vast majority of the YouTube chuckleheads farting out disingenuous and poorly researched vids while hiding behind high quality production value to appeal to the lemming-like quality of their impressionable viewers. However, by GPHG admitting a certain coffee-swilling, NATO-spruiking, and Bremont-shilling ponce into their membership, we now see that the GPHG has literally devolved into the idiots who know nothing about watches picking their winners. This is a point of no return for us. This is the equivalent of Caesar crossing the Rubicon, except, for stupid people. Going forward, Meta World Luxury will no longer be making official GPHG picks for their sham annual awards show, nor credit any past awards when discussing timepieces or brands. The Amin Straps Awards will be the sole determinant of quality across all our platforms throughout this ecosystem going forward. God bless you all, and God bless horology.
Wow.
Hear, hear.
Yeah. I mean, Lord Beaumont, going a little bit longer than I thought it was going to go. It took quite the effort. Amin, was he saying that, all right, forget about the GPHG, that's now the Golden Globe Awards. Amin Strap Awards is the flagship award show for
We're the
horology.
Oscars now. We're the Oscars.
We're the Oscars now.
Yep.
Wow, that is some statement.
Yep. And we got a new award, which is the Drunken Hookup Award, which I'm in.
Well, we're gonna get
running.
into that later. We're gonna get into that later. We're definitely gonna talk about that. Well, anyway,
what happened to Lord Cornwallis?
I think he said his piece, and he's left.
Yikes!
All right. Well, the thing is with Lord
Cornwallis.
The thing with Lord Cornwallis, I mean, he is his own man. He's unpredictable. We're just, we hopefully we can just contain him. We can't stop him, right? Hey, who's this guy?
Yes.
What's up?
Mr. Toronto is here, Captain Toronto. What's going on, Marcus? How are you?
Good. So I don't know whether you saw the early announcement, but we're now just solely looking at ASS awards, and I'm proud to have been, nominated as one of the adjudicators for the ASS awards.
Yes.
Unlike, a different smarmy git who was allowed into a different organization, I'm not going to announce my membership into the ASS award adjudicators fraternity by crowdsourcing for brands that I haven't considered, because my breadth of knowledge is far greater than his. So I'm just happy to announce that I will be an ASS award adjudicator this year.
And we are proud that you're making this announcement on the stream tonight, and then looking forward to the award show for sure.
Yeah.
Just in defense, if I may, of GPHG, I have unprepared remarks, but didn't they a year or two ago say that they wanted to open it up to a greater diversity of judges and go from a small number of industry insiders to a diverse group of, lots and lots of people. And, diversity can be, people who know about watches, people who don't know about watches. Diversity could be,
Mhm.
competent people, incompetent people, right? They didn't really qualify that further. They just said they wanted a bunch of different kinds of people in the room. So,
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, before we get ahead of ourselves, we got quite the show this evening. Dan is joining us here as well. Let's see. Let's introduce the panel. We'll go into the chat and say hello, and then we'll circle back to your thoughts, Amin, and then discuss this potential new category, the drunken hookup award or whatever whatever you called it. Amin, so how are you, my friend?
doing well, doing well.
Uh,
Um,
you
and
another review today, man. That's awesome.
another review
You're
today.
on fire, man. I'm
Have
looking
a
forward to
have
watching
have
it
a
later
few
on
days
tonight.
off, so
Yeah,
good time to churn them out.
good, good. What do you have on wrist tonight?
Wearing my IWC, which is my
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which one? Which one?
Which one?
non
Yeah.
non-drunken hookup new watch. This is the other new watch. So, Pilot
Wow.
chronograph, 43 millimeter, the ETA,
Yeah,
7750 base one.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so dude, all right, man. I feel like we're having this conversation like every week, right?
Yeah.
Like you made this proclamation at the beginning of the year. Now I know you're going to use fancy lingo and crazy logic to justify that you actually haven't made any. You made negative purchases this year, right? But so are you trading? Are you going to sell stuff? Are you making room in the collection to put this in here? Like, how are you justifying this as not part of your proclamation of doing one or two or three watches this year, wherever, whatever it was?
All right. So I said I was gonna shut it down. Was my I feel bad because Marcus is the one who is the good friend who believed in me when I said I was gonna shut it down. So I feel bad here. Um,
Yeah, but then you've got
but
Colin with the devil on your shoulder suggesting stuff.
I said I was gonna shut it down except for maybe a couple straight trades, right?
Yeah.
And up until now, I had done that except for the spacecraft, which was just kind of just a out there kind of thing, right? Okay.
Right, right.
So this one's not a straight trade, but it is going to be budget neutral because I already sold the Doxa and I'm going to sell another watch.
I just love how you. I'm going to use that now from now
Yeah.
on. No, no, honey, this is budget neutral. This watch.
Yeah. No, wife was supportive. Wife actually loves this watch.
Yeah,
And I love it.
that's
Um,
great. Budget
but
neutral.
and ultimately, like I may have to eat some words. I'm
Okay,
eating
no,
a
and
few
it's
words.
fine. No, we're no
Yeah,
judgment here.
yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
we're
And
all hypocrites when it comes to this collecting.
and if I could rewind back to my earlier comments about knowing about watches and not knowing about watches, that's not to say I know about watches. That's just
Gotcha.
our newest GPHG. What's the word?
I think
Panelist.
we know more about watches than the average GPHG panelist at this point.
But if we just take the newest, I know you want to go through the panel real quick though. Then the newest GPHG panelist is someone I think who kind of like almost puts it out there that he doesn't really know about watches. Like he's sort of like telling us that. That's why it seems really weird that he'd be a GPHG panelist.
All right, we're gonna
Um,
get to that.
right.
Marcus, how are you, my friend?
Great.
Yeah, yeah. How are the Raptors doing? They lose
Not
the
so
game?
great.
Not so
Not
great.
so great. But we're going tomorrow.
Awesome,
We'll
awesome.
see. Backs
What
against
do,
the wall.
what do you got on wrist?
I don't think I've shown this on the stream yet. It's the Big Pilot 43.
Oh yeah, the recent one. Oh, we got a couple pilots here, pilot watches here.
Yeah.
Excellent,
Love
awesome.
that watch.
Dan, thanks for
You got
joining
the
us
black
last
one,
minute.
right?
Yeah, he's
You
got the black one.
Yeah, I got the black one.
Dan, thanks for joining us last minute. Really, really appreciate it. We had some cancellations, and you graciously are filling in. What do you got on wrist, my friend?
Today I'm wearing the. Let's see if it'll focus. There it is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you go.
My
Grand Seiko
diver.
Diamond.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. And I got my Rolex Air King. Let's say hello to the chat, and then we're gonna get
Awesome.
back to the topic at hand. Wolfgang with the gold medal here first. Chaz with the silver. B Dev is here. Hey, Jim T's here. Wilson, what's up? Hobby Bobby, high five, friend. Pale Horse, what is going on? Brownie's here. Kevin, what's going on? Dib, what's going on? How are you today, Dib? What is? Are you? Did you find any good deals
Uh-oh.
today? Did you find any good deals? Okay. Uh, Dave is here. What's up, Dave? Marcel, how you doing, my friend? Wearing the new Cartier tank. Oh, I love Cartier. I've been loving Cartier. I know I've been talking a lot about it. Peter C is here. What is going on? Kevin S. Hey, what's up? Yo, Adrian. Steve Time Hill is here. How you doing? Justin is strapped in, as always. Az Clayton, what's up, y'all? Who's next to join Archie Luxury? Well, we're gonna go. We're gonna have a list of suggestions, or not necessarily suggestions, but we're gonna play an either or. Like, would you rather have Adrian from Bark and Jack or this person, right? Um, Wolfgang. Oh, there he is. Okay. Nay, Neff, what's going on? How you doing, sir? Thanks for joining us. Ooh, MST is here. 80 degrees in Denver today.
Wow.
Wow. Colorado, man, the weather's just so crazy over there. Especially this time of year, right? BJ is here. What's up? Bill K is here. 1105. Hi, all. What's up? Oh, Caliber is here. What's going on, sir? Hey, Joey B. What's up, man? Thomas Burnett. Hey, how you doing, Thomas? KR Joy, what is up? I'm right here. I'm right here. Let's see. Mez9 is joining us as well. Detroit Spartan here. What's up, my man? Well, guys, let us know what you're wearing on wrist today. Scrolling down here, seeing if I see new news. Hey, there's Mr. Casio. How you doing? Okay. Hey, James, my man, what is up? How are you? Wearing his vintage Seiko Silver Wave tonight.
Very cool.
Very cool. And oh, Ken Spear checking in from Pittsburgh. Stefan, what's up? Hi, y'all. And alrighty. Okay, so I'll go back to the chat very shortly. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Okay, so right, so the announcement came this morning, or Bark and Jack, not yeah, Bark and Jack, Adrian from Bark and Jack making the announcement on Instagram. He just surpassed 100,000 subscribers to his Instagram account, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I think this is like the first time he was making some sort of announcement that he is a member of or panelist or whatever you want to call it, voter for the GPHG going forward." I don't know if this is like they kind of have like a lifetime membership to this, or it's something that they cycle through every few years. But he has been, given the opportunity to do this, and it's a little bit of a head scratcher, right? But with the backdrop of that organization saying that they wanted to get more diversity, we probably saw this happening eventually, that they would maybe add some people who are in this kind of media, meaning YouTube and social media, giving them a crack at it. We do have some journalists on there, some watchmakers, some people in the industry who are on that seemingly long list of people who are able to, or who are or members, right? I mean, I thought maybe there was like 30, 40 people judging these things, but there are a whole lot more than that. So I mean, I don't know, or Dan or Marcus, if you want to interject before we play a little bit of GPHG, who's in or not game. What were your thoughts, Dan, when you saw this today? I know you kind of like took a different kind of stance than most of us did in talking to you earlier today. What do you feel about Adrian joining this group?
I mean, it's definitely a little bit of a surprise, the choice, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I hope it makes him better as far as he's going to have access to different brands. Um, I think we kind of romanticize of who should be on this panel and their qualifications and stuff, but I mean, he's new media. YouTube is the new media, so no
Yeah.
one's buying paperback magazines. No one.
Mhm.
I've never touched an issue of Revolution magazine.
Mhm.
So I mean, like, I've had one issue of the Hodinkis printed magazine only because it was gifted to me. Like, no one buys old media anymore. So it's surprising, but yeah, I do agree with you that his knowledge is not up there with what we expect or think that someone on GPHG panel should be. But uh, I'm open to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be open to it as well if I saw any sort of growth whatsoever in his horological knowledge and the stuff that he puts out. And I've seen zero growth since.
Yeah, a lot of it's clickbaity stuff.
Yeah, I've seen zero growth. It's just clickbaity stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
when you go ahead.
I'm not as you know, unhappy or judging his knowledge or growth. It's more his interest. Like when we try to prepare for, we do our GPHG show yearly, right? We look at all the entries, we try to figure out what's interesting about them, what's new about them, what's novel. He doesn't show any curiosity about that kind of stuff. Like he's just you know, what he puts out there is not interest in any of that. So that uh, it's like maybe GPHG is something besides those awards. I mean, that's just what I know them
Mhm.
by, right? And if you're not really trying to look at those things, then what are you doing?
I mean,
Mhm.
his content is really appealing to the algorithm. Everything, a lot of his stuff is Rolex or comparing to Rolex, and I get it. That's what draws clicks in, and unfortunately the YouTube search algorithm, pushes that kind of material onto us. It rewards that. So I understand this is his full time job, so he needs to draw eyes in so that people buy more overpriced straps. I mean,
When he
I
did the, go ahead,
Yeah,
Marcus.
I'll just point out that like probably at least 90% of the videos are about a brand that will not be competing in GPHG. So
I
Yeah.
can't say I feel a little bad because I haven't watched really much of his stuff. But like
Mhm.
when he did that Geo
Yeah.
diver comparison to Rolex,
Right.
it was such a shallow kind of like, oh, this is better than Rolex. It's at a higher level because it's at a higher level. Um, but I don't have the money for that, which is clearly not true. And then also, because it's similar money. And then
Right.
um, and I'm not into that kind of thing. It's like, but why? Like where's the thought and the curiosity and the
Okay.
analysis?
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is.
That too. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go into the chat and see what they say. Justin saying just goes to show the watch market is largely about selling as much shit as possible. We are the very small minority of sales. Neff is saying, I expect an aging Swiss watchmaker who barely speaks English and does not just know what a perpetual calendar is, but knows how to make one. Adrian knows about coffee and hype. Yeah, that was kind of like Neff. That's kind of like the impression I had
Yeah.
without knowing, like, who's in this group. I would expect it's like watchmakers, maybe people who formally have won or been nominated for these awards. You know what I mean? Like, bringing them back in and judging stuff that's new. Like, look, I get that there's some industry play here because with some of the nominees and like Tudor winning every year for some reason or not, you know what I mean? I mean, look, I like Tudor, but I understand that there's some gamesmanship here, right? There's something going on. But I mean, I'm looking at the list and there's some names that I think are noteworthy. So like to see him in that list with some of those, well, I mean, it's interesting. At the same time, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to be more inclusive of others and other forms of media and thought. It's just, look, if you're gonna put Adrian in there, I'm glad that there's at least like 400 people on this academy, right? If it was like 30 people and he had a vote within 30 people, then I find it a little bit problematic, right? But the fact that there's a whole lot, I mean, I guess it's casting a wide net. Not everybody's going to be an expert or something, so of expert on everything. I mean, so I guess it's okay. I don't know. I don't know. I still don't feel good about it, but um, yeah. So let's keep on going. Kevin, I think Adrian joining isn't too bad. Gets new flavor in. He might have more watch knowledge than we think. He needs to click big on his videos. Okay. Whatever Adrian has, GPHG wants, James says. Maybe he nailed the interview. I don't know. I really don't care. I don't. You think there's like an interview process, or do you just like think that, hey, they reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to be part of it? I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's enough speculating. We should just go to this game.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just read Bobby's here. The ASS straps versus Jack and Bark NATO straps. That's a review I want to see. Okay. We'll see if that ever happens. Okay. So, all right. So let's. I got this little game here. Seeing that Adrian got or is on this list, I was wondering maybe there was maybe some better options, especially from the YouTube space where he's from, and the social media space. So let's see here, and I'll see what you guys think. Look in either or. Would you rather have this person or Adrian? Who's more deserving? So I'm going to share my screen here, and let's start off with our boy Bruce. So do you think Bruce is more deserving of a spot in the GPHG than Adrian? Marcus, what do you think?
So, I think the first criteria for me for a GPHG judge is someone who should know that you shouldn't put a watch on the top of the roof of a moving car. So, I mean, if we go by that criteria, I think I would pick Adrian here.
Okay. Excellent point. Okay, we often forget about that instance.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Bruce has designed some GAPHG nominees, so
right. Or claim that, right?
In his own mind.
Amin, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Bruce. I think on a serious note, Bruce has looked at a much wider scope of watches than Bark and Jack, from what I've seen.
Way.
I'm mostly looking at titles. I'm looking at titles.
I'd rather have Adrian. No way.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's go to our next contestant. Federico talks watches. This salty guy, does he deserve a spot as a GPHG?
Fat fed, not skinny fed.
What do you think? I mean, the guy has knowledge.
I would go to Fed. I've learned more from him. I've learned some stuff from him.
He's worked behind the counter, right? He started off behind the counter at Vempe, Piaget. He's worked with, he's got a business. He actually has a business, right?
Would I put him in? No. But as far as the either or,
right?
Fed.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fed knows more stuff, right?
Okay, Colin.
No can do, my friend. Yeah. We're too far apart here, I guess. Give me Fed. Yeah, Fed's getting some love here. Marcus, what do you think?
I think this is my threshold. This is like my first one in, last one out kind of thing. So I'll take Fed here.
Okay. Hey, Sanjay. What's going on? How do you see you? Good to see you. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I definitely pick Federico over Adrian.
Is this game called Adrian or Death? Yes. This is actually the working title I had before I put this together. Okay. All right. So Fed unanimously from the panel here getting picked over Adrian. Next, Teddy Baldassar. Baldassar? Teddy B. What do you think? I mean,
I'm going Teddy B. Teddy
Yeah.
B. It has a pretty straight approach. You know where he's coming from. He's selling watches. He's straight ahead business. He's putting in work, honest work. Teddy B.
I think he's better looking and more charming too.
Oh, Dan. Got a sweet spot for Teddy B.
He probably knows more about coffee too.
he
looks
he
like
look
he would.
and definitely knows about turtlenecks
Yeah.
more, I would say.
I'd pick Teddy as long as he left O'Leary behind.
Yeah, that's the only strike. But I mean, that's not, I mean, I'm not going to hold that against him going to GP. But I just hold that against him as a human being.
Yeah. Fair.
But yeah. So Teddy getting some love here. Teddy.
Teddy Bear.
Teddy Bear. His fiance's got to call him that. Teddy Bear, come here. Are you coming over tonight, Teddy Bear? Yeah, no, totally.
So funny.
I mean, when he can make a rap video making fun of himself, it's like the greatest thing.
Did he do that?
Yeah, you've never seen it?
No.
Oh my god!
Didn't it
his
get
rap
taken
video
down or
is
something like that?
No, it's so good.
Is it still
It's
out
gotta
there?
be up there still. It's got to be up
Okay.
there still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, so let's move on. TGV.
Come on, Adrian, all the way. Come on,
Adrian here.
Adrian
I
all
gotta
the
give
way.
it to Adrian too.
I
Come
totally
on.
disagree. I think Tristano, he deserves to be there before Adrian. I mean, look, he's been doing this a lot longer than Adrian, right? He has probably single-handedly held the hand of most new collectors than anybody, right? And so so maybe he talks a lot about the SKX and is a little bit and is a shill, but so is all these guys on the list. I take this guy in a second. So we it looks like TGV criticizes others for the things he does himself. Yeah, so well, we're all hypocrites.
This
Barking
very game
Jack.
is hypocritical.
What was that?
This very game is it's a little bit hypocritical.
Squala. Yeah, so what? So what? I totally want to see TGV stand up there and vote for the Flighty for an award, isn't it? That it isn't nominated for. Okay, so it wasn't a complete sweep from the panel, but it looks like Adrian for the win there. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, Theo and Harris. Looking mighty tan there.
Jeez.
Is this a package deal?
Of course, it's got to be.
Oh man,
I'm taking Theo and Harris.
You're taking Theo and Harris?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, for me, it's like there's an intellectual curiosity. Something. They show me something. Some interest in watches.
Kevin
I think Christian's showing too much right now.
Yeah. Kevin saying you should have done polls for us in the audience for this game. Kevin, you're absolutely right, but this, we're not a high-end stream here. We're not. Sorry. That's a good idea. I just didn't think of it. It's a little too late right now. Marcus.
Oof.
Yeah.
I hate this choice. I think I'm gonna take Christian here.
Really?
Christian and whoever the other guy is. I don't even know who that is.
Kara Joy, never heard of Theo and Harris. That duo is peak Jersey for sure. Too tanned. Steve, I just didn't have enough time to get pictures. Yeah, I know Gringa's on. We should consider Gringa maybe next time.
See, I think it's easier for me to take Gringa over these two guys and TGV. Like she's legitimately like interested in watches.
But she knows nothing, though. She really knows nothing. I'm convinced that she knows nothing. Whoever her husband or boyfriend is, I think that's the person who's pulling the strings. She's just a woman in this space, and there's nothing wrong with women in the space, but women do very, very well in the space because we're all a bunch of nerds, right? That's just like sticking like a okay. Maybe I don't want to get canceled. But yeah. I mean, I okay. She deserves. You're right. She's number one on the list. She should go before all these guys. Totally doing a 360. Yeah. Yeah. Cancel. Okay. Dan just walk off. Yeah, he did in protest. Okay. Foot and mouth. Amin made a good case for Ketelars last week. Mm-hmm.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Mm-hmm. Amin, did you chime in with your vote here?
I'm going Christian
Okay.
and Michael. Is that Michael? Michael?
Yeah.
Harris?
These
Okay.
guys, these two guys.
All right, moving on. The hands, the watchfinder. Now, if this guy, whoops, if this guy can't get in, then who can? You know? No? Yeah?
Definitely this guy.
I'm picking Adrian here because I haven't quite forgiven the Furlan Mary
Oh,
Paddock
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
uh,
That's a good
comparison.
point.
So I'm
That's
going to
true.
pick Adrian.
Okay. Fair.
That's I'm just never going to be able to forgive it. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pick Adrian.
I'm changing my vote. Marcus convinced me.
Yeah, Marcus totally convinced me too. Dan?
Adrian.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, moving on. Now, this guy, when he heard it this morning, must have been trashing Watchbox, the offices of Watchbox, right? I mean, like, how can this guy, Tim Masso, not be in there? Unless they offered it to him and he said no. But really, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Tim all the way, right? I mean, Tim all the way.
No question.
I mean, Tim probably turned it down because he's like,
Yeah.
I'm a salesman and I
So,
don't
just
ethically feel right. Was it then?
the only thing that would make sense is because Danny Govberg is already in. Maybe they don't want two people from the same shop.
Yeah, that was my initial thought, but I'm like, so what? You know what I mean? Like Richard and Maria Hobring are both on there.
Oh, they're both in there.
Yeah, they're both in there. So, I mean, they're watchmakers, but I mean, well, not
Yeah.
I don't know if Maria
Yeah.
is, but
Yep. This is a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, I would curb stomp Adrian to get Tim in there.
whoa, Bobby, what's going on, man? Don't hate on Rutgers. Don't hate on Rutgers, man. That ain't right. Paul Pluta over Tim. Wow. I mean, I don't have him on here, but would you guys think Archie is more deserving than Adrian?
Yeah, for sure.
No way.
Oh,
my
then
God.
Adrian maybe.
Then
Yes.
Adrian, yeah.
No.
Then Adrian, definitely. Not
No
over Tim,
way.
No, not over Tim. No, of course not.
but over
I
Adrian.
I wouldn't put him in if it's just him against player. You know, I would take player. Contestant.
Okay. And I think the last one here, the count. Does the count deserve to be in there
Oh Jesus.
over Adrian?
I'm
This
going
one-
count.
You're going to count
Yeah.
the count.
I mean, without him, no one would know how to read a watch, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, he's done more for horology for toddlers, right, than anyone has had. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly a Cookie Monster guy, Wilson, but I felt like the count was more appropriate for this discussion.
Yeah.
Please, don't insult me, Wilson. Count is a genius. I saw somebody say here, yeah. Justin. I vote for the Count over all of them except for Tim. Also, don't know who Count is. Well, it's we'll talk about this. We'll talk about Sesame Street offline, Wolfie. Um, what does everybody think about the ID guy?
Same as Adrian. Like he has shown no intellectual curiosity or no improvement in his horological knowledge.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that he has promised that he would include more like sort of movement talk, he'll do more decoration talk, all that stuff. And he's just going back to the same well over and over again. So he's an industrial designer, so he can judge industrial design, like whatever. Yeah.
Timepiece gentleman. Yeah. All right. Well, let's just leave that one there, like that, right? Wait, is that Ocean? I always get Timepiece Gentleman and the other one mixed up because the titles are the same.
Timeless Watch, I think.
Timeless Watch.
Yeah. Okay.
No. This one. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Like when I was in college, I did a lot of partying, and sometimes like you do a lot of partying and a lot of drinking, and then like you do some things that you may regret the next day. Like I don't know, like jumping off a balcony into some garbage cans, lighting your friend's pants on fire, stuff like that. But sometimes you meet a young lady who's not towards some of the standards, right, that you may have. And
Rob, this might get you canceled over the
one. Rob keeps trying to get himself canceled.
But hey, it happens to the best of it. And look, vice versa, women do that. They get drunk, and I'm sure like I was somebody's like kind of like drunken hookup that they were not really well, they regretted the next day. Anyway, so there's sometimes we do that with watches, right? Sometimes we fall in love with a watch when we see it initially, and then after some thinking, you're like, well, maybe that's not really maybe I shouldn't have done that. And so Amin, is there something you want to like talk something over?
So there's a few days ago, our good friend Colin posted this watch from Atelier Wen. Can I share mine?
Okay, I have it up, but if you want to share yours,
I want to share a different picture.
Okay.
All right.
One that makes it look better.
I want to look a little better here. Okay. So Colin posts a picture of this, and he goes, Atelier Wen, $2,000, real handmade guilloche. Seems like a good deal, right?
Yeah.
And when I first looked at it, honestly, I thought this kind of looks a little too much like a Nautilus. I'm going to steer clear of this one. And it's cool that they're doing guilloche, but I'm going to steer clear. And then if I didn't know that they had made an announcement, or that it was limited, or that pre-orders, were coming in 4 or 5 days, or any of that stuff. But this morning I wake up, there's an article on Time and Tide, or yesterday morning, and they're singing its praises, right? And then I'm like, oh, the pre-orders are only open for only 300 pieces. It's got a real guilloche dial, the only guy in China who does guilloche. It's like he made his own guilloche machines. He's in a cave, making these things.
And the reason why he's in a cave is so that it can improve the precision of the guilloche. It's not just because he's a weird dude living in a cave. We've got to remember that.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's this big article, 300 pieces, pre-order. This thing is gonna, like, it's now or never, right? This has sold out written all over it. I gotta go or not, right? And Hobby Bobby points out there's a symphony of reviews. Now the most striking thing about the value proposition is that it's $2,000. It has a real guilloche dial, and they managed to pay off every news agency, in the world. It seems like it
I don't
must
think
be.
that it. I don't think that's it. I think that right now there's a vacuum because the Watches and Wonders is over and there's nothing to talk about. So, you know,
Well, I joke, but partially. But on their page, they predicted that there would be a lot of coverage. They were like, lots of coverage coming soon, or something to that fact. And then a blog to watch has it actually labeled as a sponsored article. So it makes me scratch my head at the others. Maybe I'm just being suspicious, but I mean, truthfully, unless it's really cheap to pay all those places, how could they do it? Because it's, I don't know, 300 watches times 2,000 each. You got to pay a guy to do 8 hours of guilloche. Um, you don't really have a lot of money left over to pay. I mean, everybody covered it. Every like site that I like, except for SJX, covered this watch. But on a serious note, um, I felt like I had to either go or I was going to lose my chance. I pre-ordered it, and then I had a little buyer's regret later in the day. I felt like I had gotten drunk and hooked up with the ugly person, and now I slept on it. And I'm kind of glad again I pre-ordered it. I mean, I'm sort of happy about it now. I've kind of come around the other way, and it has nothing to do with flipping it or profiting, because it did sell out. It's just that I do think it's a lot of watch. I think it's a good value proposition. They it's I mean, it's a 40 millimeter watch. It's less than 10 millimeters thick. I feel like they put thought into every aspect of the watch. I mean, yes, the design is a little bit derivative, but when you really put it side by side with all the steel integrated sports watches that are out there, I don't feel like it's more derivative than a lot of other ones. The dial, I think, is pretty special. I mean, some of the really close ups, some of the guilloche looks a little
yeah, it's
more,
not as sharp.
not just that, but it gets a little irregular towards the middle. Like,
Mhm.
it should be like the same pattern getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the pattern goes a little sideways in some of the close-ups, um, but it's still handmade. Um, anyway, I think I can still make the value prop argument here, and I think it'll be a fun one to photograph. The light's going to do cool things with this dial, so I'm good with it.
I think you should keep it because this kicks the crap out of Sega, and if it somehow wins both a GPHG award and an ASS award, like that's gonna really stoke the hype, and it's gonna drive the secondary market prices. So I think you should keep it.
This does kick the crap out of Sega design.
Yeah,
It really does.
and Furlan Mary too. Like I would take this over Furlan Mary any day of the week. Again, and I almost bought one myself. I after I went for a jog, went for some sushi. I came back and decided not to, but I almost bought it. So I think you should keep it.
Yeah, I was tempted by it too. It's got a couple elements that I like. I do like that integrated bracelet. I do like integrated bracelet watches. I do like guilloche. I did like the fact that it seemed initially that they weren't making a lot. Who knows what they're going to do down the future? It depends on how fast it sells, right? The thing that I started questioning because there's a blue, a silver, and a kind of like a copperish kind of color, right, or salmon type color, but none of the colors, and I guess weren't really talking to me. I love the case back, by the way. The case back is awesome.
Yeah.
But the colors, I mean, the blue wasn't blue enough for me. Like I just some of the renderings and some of the photos I saw, it just didn't started jiving. And then I started thinking to myself, well, y- you know, I want to when prices do come down, and I think they will, especially with the Laureato, which is a watch I've been interested in a long time, and it's a watch that I've been wanting to add in my collection. Um, I said, I figured like if I spend a couple grand on this watch, it's going to try to replace or try to fill that hole where a Laureato would be, and it just wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? And yeah, maybe I could sell this down the road and make my money back, or lose very little money because it seems to be generating a lot of interest. But it's just it's not the watch that I want, right? And so I kind of pulled back from that, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is just not for me. It's not meant to. It's not just meant for it wasn't meant to happen. So anyway, I think it's a cool watch though.
Yeah.
And I'm
One of the
sure.
neat things on the is that it's, even though it looks integrated, these are standard lugs, right? With all with the quick release straps, and
Yeah.
so you can just throw a regular strap in there. It's going to look pretty good the way the front is designed.
I feel like there's going to be some hot spots on that case and bracelet though. For some, I don't know why. I just have that feeling. There might
At
be
the
some sharp.
price, yeah, could be. I like the rubber. I think the rubber looks good.
Yeah, I do like that buckle, right? I mean that clasp with you
Yep.
press the button and you could do some micro adjust, which is pretty
Yep.
cool,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's something like I would love to see, like watches in the 2,000, 3,000 range do a little bit more of. You're not going to really see that too often, but Peter's saying that he was tempted. Khan says that he hopes Salmon cancels it. Can't live with himself. Yeah.
All right, guys, I've got to jet early, so
See you,
thanks for
Marcus.
tuning in.
Okay,
Good night.
okay, Marcus, take it easy. Marcus.
I think it's worth the gamble. I mean, you should keep your order. Judge it for it's in the metal.
Yeah. They have actually a really good return policy. 30 days if unused, and they arrange pickup and return shipping on their dime, which is
I don't think
pretty
you'll
good.
have a problem flipping it if you don't.
Yeah.
Like it.
Not the same for him. He just get a Maurice Lacroix. Colin saying it's a good value, but I don't want Amin to buy it because it's a good value.
Yeah, I mean that's really was my pang of regret, is that
Right.
I think it's a very good value, but it's $2,000 watch, and it's not like a $10,000 watch selling for 2,000, right? It's a good $2,000 watch, and the world is full of good $2,000 watches. There's not a day goes by I don't see a watch I would love to buy. So should I have bought this particular one? That's the thing I'm not so sure about.
Kevin says I would avail myself of that return policy. Peter's saying just keep it. Cornwallis has left the building. Cornwallis
When's the
out.
expected ship date?
October. And then they said that 300 available for pre-order. They said it takes up to 8 hours for the guy to make one dial, and there's a high rejection rate, right? So even with a 0 rejection rate, 8-hour dial, if it takes him 8 hours,
He's
how
not
many
gonna
can you
make it
make?
in time.
Right?
Yeah, he's not
And
gonna
so
make it in time.
that implies that they've made a lot already, right? Otherwise they
Right.
couldn't make it by October.
Right.
But then they go, we're going to open up the next batch of orders that we expect maybe to be end of the year, right? Well, there's not that much time between October and the end of the year. And then they said the most we could do is 500 a year. So now I'm thinking something sounds a little shady, unless this guy is just in the cave day and night, right? They're just bringing in food and bedpans, and this guy's in the cave.
It's
just
three
doing...
different shifts of 12 and 13-year-old Chinese kids running the guilloche machine. That's all it is. Shame on you, Amin.
They say there's one master guillocher, that dude in the cave.
Yeah,
and
he's all China.
The whip.
The guy, and he's built 4 machines to do different things. And I'm just thinking, he's got a foot working one machine, he's got a hand working another machine.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't know
Chris
what's
is
going
here.
on.
Chris from the Watchline. Hey, Chris, thanks for listening, man. Joining us in. BJ is saying I was looking at the Longines Silver Hour today for about the same price. It's a great watch.
Great watch.
Sam, all the way from Australia. What's up, man? They will be a regular production in October, November? Question mark.
They said by the end of the year they hope to have the next batch. It'll be like $500 more expensive or something like that. He gets 3 done per day. What a legend.
Yeah. Hey, AB's here. What's going on? How you doing? Yes, this was around a year ago and they took it down. Not sure
A year around when they were talking about it a year ago, I went back after I pre-ordered and looked at some of the stuff. They were saying it was going to be a CNC dial. And they've been sort of discussing their plans as they've been going. It's been a couple of years that in the works.
Happy Bobby saying market could get flooded with a new order window and take the flip anyway. Okay. Maybe he should build a machine that can help him escape the gear shake.
He's like Iron Man, right? He's got to break out of the cave.
Talk more about the new blue PVD Santos de Cartier. It is a good everyday piece, even when traveling to all kinds of places. I know Bobby wants to talk Cartier. I love this watch. I love this release. I like it in the blue dial too, not the white dial. I mean, the white dial or the silver
I'm the
dial is nice.
opposite. I'm
You
the
like the
opposite. I like the blue bezel with the white dial is my choice.
yeah. I just give me blue. Give me blue. Brian is saying, buy from established watchmakers. Don't get suckered by this endless supply of crowd-funded shysters. It's a
I
good point,
think
man.
BJ with the Longines is the head of the class for this price segment. You're getting serious quality, great movements, maybe simple case design, but super high quality watches.
I mean, I'm trying to think at this price point, like we're going to get back into a Guilloche discussion here, but at $2,000, if this is what it said it is, I mean, they're saying it is.
Yeah.
Where can you even get close to that
Nowhere.
price range? Yeah.
You can't. I've looked high and low for handmade Guilloche, and even when you look for watches that have had toxic depreciation, something that like went out of style, nobody really wants it. There's no $2,000 hand done Guilloche watches.
I mean, at the next price point, I'm thinking the watch I used to have, the Jaeger and Benzinger at 4, new, like 4,300, is the next. I mean, that's hand guilloche, right, on the front and the back. So you're looking at least another $2,000 that I know. I mean, I don't know if there's anything in between, but you're spending another $2,000, $2,300 to get to another piece that has that kind of work. Dan, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy.
I was saying, even if, let's say, if this was Swiss origin, even if it was a stamped Guilloche, you couldn't get it to $2,000.
Yeah. And forget about CNC.
Yeah.
Is lower quality hand guilloche better than machine guilloche?
As far as appearance, no. Right? So CNC, good quality CNC will look better than low quality hand guilloche. But as far as value, I would say yes.
Benzinger's hand quality guilloche in the shop is 8 to 12K. Yes, Benzinger, but if you look at Jaeger and Benzinger, where he teamed up with K. Jaeger, you can find some pieces around the 4,300 range. Watch Bias has them. You can check it out. Colin is saying, I love the ADLC bezel Santos. That's an awesome watch too. Yeah. Can you have more than one Santos? I think I can. Kevin S, spend a bit more and get a used Garrick. Yeah, but I mean,
it's a lot more.
It's a lot more, right?
Yeah.
I really haven't seen too many used Garricks out there.
It's like somebody saying they want to get a Longines and somebody saying, save a little more, get a Rolex. It's like, it's not really comparable.
What if the guy's nickname is the Machine in the game? Machine Guilloche is cool, but I like the idea of the underground Guilloche more.
This guy built his own Guilloche machine. That's cool. I like the story. I think it's a cool story.
If it's true.
Yeah.
If it's true. I mean, like, the thing is, like, you can't prove it otherwise. Where you're going to go find that cave in China where he has those
no, I guarantee you he made the machine, because there's no way they're going to spend $100,000 for a antique machine that's been rebuilt. Guarantee they went to Switzerland with the spy camera, took pictures from every angle, and like, I can make this.
There's I agree with Dan, and there are other people who've built their, like, our friend Clayton knows a guy who built his own guilloche machine.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
DM Tiffany, yeah.
yeah. Kettler's built his own CNC machine. I mean, I don't know how hard any of this stuff is, but there's precedence.
Hey, there's Chris. Okay, good night, Chris. Chris coincidentally built his own CNC music factory. It's on the internet, so it's true. Wilson's saying. Marceau's honestly for 2K, it's not a bad deal. Worst case scenario, you look 1,000
Lose,
if you
yeah.
sell. You lose 1,000 if you sell it. Yeah.
I don't even think you'll lose anything if you get it and you're like within a couple weeks, you're just like, it's not for me. I think you'll get all your money back.
Yeah. Wilson, I built a paper airplane once. Nice. Did you? Forget it. I can't even get a case back off of Seiko. Yeah, I mean, look, it's impressive. Okay, he built the machine. Great. Rolex versus Cartier. Ducks recover from the fallout. Man, I was talking to my friend Kevin, and there is no. I mean, like, for like a luxury brand that Cartier is, like a global luxury brand, not meaning global like around the world, but like meaning like they go from like purses to scarves to jewelry to watches. Man, they make some great watches. They do. They totally do.
There's a reason why they're number 3 now or number 2 now.
Number 2. Yeah.
Number 2, yeah, that's
watchmaker. With the number 2 in what way? Sales.
I think
in sales.
sales.
Yeah.
I gotta say I don't love them, but that's just me. I think they're
No, it's cool.
little. I can't.
Is it a little too posh for you?
I think so. It's a little. They're a little dressy. I guess I like dressy. I don't know. Something about it doesn't hit for me. I do like the white Santos kind of, but not enough to really think about it.
What's that? What's the question?
Like Cartier? Do you like Cartier?
Yeah, I like
And
Cartier.
the answer better is yes. Okay, good.
Would you buy one?
Like I would buy one. I haven't found one that I've fallen in love with.
Yeah.
I love pictures and video of the Santos, but I've tried it on like 4 or 5 times, and every time I try it on, I'm just underwhelmed.
Just doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I like them too, but I just what I mean is like I wouldn't consider buying one.
Cartier versus Jaeger. JLC, I presume. Yeah, I mean JLC, no brainer, right? Even I would say that.
Yeah.
Classic designs as well. Watchmaker's watchmaker. You know. Marceau saying I didn't think I would like the Tank XL until I put it on. Very much so. Well, Amin, any more? You're on a streak here, man.
I want to try to get the my RGM done before I go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll look forward to that, man.
And then another long break.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching the RJ at some point tonight or tomorrow.
Thanks.
The RJ review.
I if you can't tell, I'm a little tired, slow of thought today. So put it on 1.5x. Ad blockers on when you watch my my Romain Jerome review. 1.5x speed for sure.
Yeah. Neff, stop watching the stream and go right over it. No, I'm serious and watch. We're done here. It's cool enough. You can go watch the review. Anyway, I'm sure it's going to be great. Check out his Kettler's review. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Chaz saying Amin is killing it.
Thanks, Chaz.
Dan, what's going on? I think I might be seeing you in a few days, right?
Yep.
We're gonna do a watch thing. Maybe.
Should be
top
fun.
secret. Top secret.
Yep.
And
Thanks.
yeah. Looking forward to it, man. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Lord Beaumont, Beauchamp, Cornwallis, Beaumont. Appreciate him leading the way this evening, making some accusations and putting the Almond Cell Strap Awards on the map, and everyone else in the horological world on notice that if you want to get honest um, award show, watch award show stuff, you better come here. Right? That was so eloquent. I just nailed it. Right?
You nailed it.
Anyway, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next week. Talk to you soon and have a good night. Take
Good
care.
night, guys.